weather's clear. Can do. This guy says the horse.
Hello, racing fans, and welcome back to another edition of Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. I'm Mike Hedson with Drew Forster. We're going to go through the Sunday, October the 1st. It's already October, god darn it. October the 1st races at Hastings. It is championship time, though. We do have stakes races throughout the entire month of October. And today we do have the Ascot graduation, $100,000 race for 2-year-old colts and geldings, going a mile on the 16th. We do have 7 races on tap today. Keep an eye on the Sea to Sky Pick 6 carryover. It is currently sitting at 30, as of Saturday, sitting at 36,000 and could be north of 40,000 heading into today's program. Let's get into the Sunday races. Got some 6250 fillies and mares in the opener. Got a field of 5. I ended up on the 4-horse Winning Edge. Big class drop for her. She did go long last time, and the closers really prospered in that race, I thought, and she was up on the pace going long, and I just think returning to a sprint, she's going to be dangerous. I know Texas Alley Cat has speed, but I think Winning Edge can be the one sitting just off of her. I think Winning Edge is the better horse, and try her to win it. Valid Val for second, Zanita Rose for third. I think those are your 3 horses in here. I'm going to go 4, 5, and 1.
I don't have a lot to add. I really like Winning Edge in here as well. As you mentioned, back to a sprint. And, I mean, just toss out that race. The race before, she runs for 16. Absolutely crushes.
She's
for 16. Now in for 6250, she's got to win. And in the top connections, Mike Anderson, Richard Hamill. I put Mike's other horse, Zanita Rose, in the second spot because I like Winning Edge. And if she gets pressured, that means there's speed in here. Then it sets up for Zanita Rose. So I got her in the second spot. And Valid Val's a nice closer, too.
Always money. She's always a game filly.
She kind of got She got in trouble last time, or she might have beat Zanita Rose. So those two are pretty close together. I got same horse as you, little different order, 4, 1, and 5 for me in the first. On the second, maiden special weight for 2-year-olds, going 3.5 furlongs. Craig McPherson's got a bunch in here, and I actually went to his horses. Yeah, I went to his horses. I went to the 8 Katie's Dancer. Out of that good mare, Ann Z. Him and Reyes, 28% together. Reyes is one of his go-to guys. Yeah. You see Hamill, another one of his go-to guys, isn't in the race, so I look for the guy who's probably going to get the live one. I like the post as well. Right. A nice work and 35 and 3 out of the gate. I think this one's quick. She's got good 2-year-old pedigree. Katie's Dancer for me on top of Finally Famous. Another Craig McPherson, another River's Edge Racing stable horse. Regal Red. I mean, how great was she? And she's thrown good horses.
Champion, and she's been...
And she's thrown beautiful horses. It's a finality. Colt, another one with some decent works, 36 and 4 out of the gate, where Mario Sanders rides. Don't mind this one as well. If he's got any of the mare's talent, look out. And in the third spot, I went to another Craig McPherson horse. The one out of the Sassy Chimes, another well-bred Storm Victory Colt in here. Spring Squall, another River's Edge Racing stable. 35 and 3 out of the gate on September 17th. I like, too, that these horses are all near the outside. Nobody's breaking from the rail. David Lopez and Craig, they team up well together. There you go. Those are my horses. 8, 4, and 5. River's Edge Try.
Craig McPherson Tri-Actor.
They'll be happy if I'm right.
Yes, they will. I agree. I'm not picking them.
It's tough to,
I'm not picking those. I think they all have great qualities. I mean, Katie's a dancer, excellent pedigree. Annie Z, who is former 2-year-old champion. Elsa Lyons. It's a great pedigree for 2-year-olds. Regal Red, I agree. And the Storm Victory, the 5-horse Spring Squall, those are ready-made horses. I'm just going to go to a horse that's run before. That's a 7 Storm Rocket. I know it was a maiden 16, but class doesn't really matter going 3.5 furlongs.
Yeah, exactly. It's
class
quick.
matters when you're starting to go 6.5, mile 16th. Then class becomes a big issue. But going 3.5, if you're fast, you're fast. Doesn't matter what your pedigree is. It doesn't matter.
If you break well and you're quick, you're going to be dangerous.
You're gone, and no one's going to catch you. And this guy's been pretty fast, and I thought a really good race last time behind Cassidy Finality. And maybe the firsters aren't fast. Experience means a lot. And this horse has the experience.
It does,
in these 3.5, because you can't make any mistakes going 3.5. This horse has the experience, and that's the only reason I'm going to try this one. Greg's horses look great. I agree on paper. Yeah. I went 7, 8, and 5, but I'm going to try Storm Rocket to defeat Katie's a Dancer and Spring Squall in the second race. On to the third, $4,000 claimers going a mile on the 16th. I ended up on the 3 Laguna Blaze, a little bit of class drop for him. A little class relief certainly will help, dropping out of the claiming series race that was won by Citron. That was an $8,000 race. Now in for 4. I think Laguna Blaze is live in here, as is the one Flaming Beach. I don't think there's much between the two of them. I thought 3 and 1 were your horses. Street Map might take advantage of a fast pace if that occurs, which it could. I just thought, look, on paper it's 1, 3, 4, 3, 4, 1, whatever we want to jumble the 3 horses. But I thought Laguna Blaze for Carl Austin and Richard Hamill were the best. I went 3, 1, 4.
I don't have much to add at all. I have the same horses. Laguna Blaze, he was up in that Citron Kid Santa Fe Trail, which was tougher. He gets beat 4. Fleming's Beach was in that Mighty Mesa Taka's Trump Crushing Candy race. He gets beat 3.5. So I gave a slight nod to Laguna Blaze, as did you.
Who's in the 8 and the other one's in the 4.
Yeah. So I gave a slight nod to Laguna Blaze over Fleming's Beach, and I agree if something crazy happens, look for Street Map for John Snow to come rolling late. 3, 1, and 4.
He's a good road horse.
He is.
Street Map. If the pace in a small field will help too, because he's only got 5 to go around.
3, 1, and 4 for me. Same numbers as Mike in the 3rd. On to the 4th. Why do I keep having to start off the 2-year-old races? Well, this one, these guys,
lovely little darlings.
A little more form to go off on these ones. It is going
Not
6.5. Not a ton, but a little bit more. Luxor Lady. Start out in a stake. Phil Hall was high enough on her to start out in a stake. That was the good news. The bad news is she bolted on the far turn and unseated Silvina Morales.
I know, he wasn't too happy about it.
He didn't love that.
No.
But she came back with a good second behind Here's Hannah, who we were just talking about. You know, if you're watching the show Sunday morning, she might have already won the fantasy. She did get beat by 6 by her, but was well clear of the 3rd horse. She's a pioneer of the Nile, so she's got some nice Windstar breeding behind her. I'm going to go on her on top to beat. The horse is going to be the favorite here, Astarte. 2 starts back, a good second behind My Aunt Mo, who is, you can make an argument, Here's Hannah, My Aunt Mo, the 2 best fillies here this year. She's a good second behind her in the Hard Rock Casino. Kind of went off the rails in her latest, that maiden race, but I look for her to be tougher coming back with lead rider Richard Hamill aboard. And I threw in the 1, 7 times 70 for Mike Anderson and James Redicop. Breaking from the 1 hole, well-bred daughter Tail of the Cat that he bought out of the Barrett sale, a 2-year-old training sale down there, and her works look decent here. Romario Sanders rides 6, 7, and 1 for me.
Yeah, I went to the 1, 7 times 70. James Redicop bought 3 horses actually out of the Florida sale, and a big applause to him for doing it.
Yeah, bringing up some fresh
here
stock.
To Hastings, he's done a great job. You know, James can race anywhere, and he's chosen to race them here at Hastings, which is great. And the works are great. They're really nice on it. I like the 101. 2 works back. That's a big move. And Mike does a great job with this 2-year-old.
Yep.
So I went to him to win it over the 6 Luxor. I went to something different over the 6 Luxor Lady, who's had some chances, but still, you're right. That was a good run behind Here's Hannah. But the one problem with that, you're not going to get value.
No.
The minute the public sees, second behind Here's
Hannah.
Okay.
Like I say, who probably
4 to 5.
Probably won the fantasy yesterday.
Yeah, and you're looking at 4 to 5, and she's not a 4 to 5 horse in this race.
No.
She's all right. Somebody has to run second to a good horse, and sometimes they get overbat, and that happens. But Luxor Lady's live here for Dennis Tucker, and Phil Hall and Astarte's live. I put the 3 Seagull Bay in for Rob Gilker.
Sydney's Candy, yeah.
Got a pile of 5/8s. I respect Rob.
Absolutely.
This horse could be very live at first asking, and they do a great job. And this one,
I know. I looked at that one, and I
could
actually
outrun his morning line odds.
I did leave her off the ticket, and that was a mistake.
It's not an easy race. I went 1, 6, and 3 in the 4th. On to the 5th race, optional 25, going a mile 16 for 3-year-olds and upwards. I think the 4 Soul Cat can get the lead in here. He's going to be pretty tough to beat. He didn't really like Highway Boss and Crazy Prophet, Never Doubt the State and Modern and those horses in the stake race last time, but he gets back into allowance race, which he did win 2 starts back, and a similar type race where he defeated Bluegrass Angus and Square Dancer, and I think there's not a lot of speed in here. I think he's got to get the lead.
Yeah.
And I like him to win it. I put Square Dancer, who ran a really good race last time behind Awesome Slade. It was 3 wide throughout much of the race, still ran up pretty game, and Richard Hamill will ride. And I put the 5-horse Shooting Jacket, who drops out of a stakes race as well, and picked him a lot in the past. But I think the class relief might help him. I went 4, 2, and 5. I think those are I don't think I'm leaving anyone off, but I went 4, 2, 5.
Yeah, I mean, I'm with you. I got the same horses, but I mean, Calgary Capers back in for a price for the first time in a
just not
long
running
time,
well.
but he's off form.
Loses Perez. Perez goes
yeah.
to Handsome Shaft.
Sorry about nothing.
Start
If he
adding
breaks,
things
he was really wide last time. If he gets a better trip, maybe. But I'm with you. I got the same horse. I went with Square Dancer on top. I thought that was a very good, awesome slate's a very nice horse and good second behind him last time. And I'm thinking if somebody goes with Soul Cat, right? Because Soul Cat looks like he could be the only speed. But if Story About Nothing, breaks, if Story About Nothing, he can go to the lead going long. Power Corrupt. That's what I'm thinking.
Power Corrupt can go, but he's not going to go crazy.
But that's what I'm thinking. If somebody pressures him, Square Dance's going to be right in behind him.
Yep.
If for some reason Soul Cat falters, that's the horse. And he's got Hamill on him, of course, is on fire. So I went with Square Dancer over top with Soul Cat. Made Soul Cat my second pick, and I threw in Shooty Jack on the same as you in the third spot coming out of the stakes races. 2, 4, and 5 for me in the fifth. On the sixth, the Ascot Graduation. Very good competitive renewal of the Ascot Graduation. I kept looking. We just did our picks about 5 minutes before we taped this.
I know.
And I kept looking. I'm like,
we drew today on Thursday.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we didn't get a whole.
We had a very
day
short time to
gallop
do
through
it.
This, but we really had to gallop.
And I keep looking. Geez, I'm leaving him off, or I'm leaving him off, or you know, you can make a case for 6 or 7 of these here in this 9-horse field.
What a nice babies. Competitive. There's no standout. Not like here's Anna on the Saturday program.
Yeah, I mean, I left out Boundary Bay earlier on in the meet. You know, back in July, if you said, you know, Boundary Bay in the Ascot, I said I'd love him, right? But he went to Emerald for one. He's fallen
Scott
a little
Williams,
bit off form. And Scott,
back in the
return
tack.
of Scott Williams. I know, I saw that.
That's cool.
Boundary Bay, I left him off. I went to Glenn's other horse, Panhandle.
Yep.
I thought unlucky to lose to Wise Market last time in the Futurity. Looks like a horse who is going to want to get more distance. He runs like he's going to want to get more distance. He's got Thunder Gulch on the mare side, which leads you to believe this is a horse that's going to stretch out nicely.
Was a road horse.
Texas, yeah, exactly. He was a Monarchos, who was a Derby winner. Actually, there's Derby winners on top and bottom there. So I went with Panhandle on top under David Lopez. I went with Ruggiero in the second spot. Really impressed with that late run by him last time. What a move forward he made, too, from his first start to his second start. Getting a 20 bar to a 48, 10th by 18, to winning a maiden special weight last time, where the chances are.
Yeah, he kept his irons.
Look, yeah, well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, the first time. That's right. I forgot about that. Throw that out the first one. But last time it looked like chances are was home and cooled out. And Ruggiero kept digging and kept fighting, finding more, and came back, caught him. I thought a really impressive race in a horse that figures to stretch out nicely for Mike Anderson. Ruggiero in second, and I did want to leave off European. I mean, I'm leaving out Jack Diamond Futurity winner Wise Market, who it looks like could be galloping out front alone. I don't know who's going to go with him, but European should stick close to him. And European is, you know, never been worse than third this year. What a street fighter he is.
I know.
Yeah.
Nice form.
Really good form. Won the sales stake, only gets beat 3/4. Last time the Futurity is reunited with Richard Hamill, who won the sales stake on him. Classy son of Costa Believe. I don't want to leave him off. 8, 5, and 1 for me.
I love the 5, Ruggiero. I think this horse.
I love him.
I love him. He's not a sprinter.
No.
He's this big gang. If you saw him, he's this big gangly looking thing. He won sprinting just because he's a nice horse.
Because he's good, yeah.
He's just, and it was against maidens. He wants to route, and he works so good. He worked awesome the other day. It was unfortunately with Enrique. Enrique Gonzalez was going to ride this horse, and he got hurt, so they had to find a rider. Not sure why Reyes didn't ride him, but Reyes has to stick with the Mel Snow runner. Slew's the boss, but Ruggiero to me is the best horse in this race going along. I know it wasn't the best time in the world. He still green.
It was visually impressive, though. The amount of ground he made up.
Good, and he's just, if you saw him, you know, he's not a 6.5 or 6 furlong horse. He's just winning because he's a nice horse. Mile 16th is what he wants to do, and I like Ruggiero. I put the 7 horse Almeria for Peter Redicott.
It's another one I left out. Yeah.
You know, a maiden, but still pretty good credentials. Blaine Wright had the horse working great, or actually Eddie Truman, pardon me, had the horse working great guns at Santa Anita. Excellent works. Then went up to
made a brief
Blaine
stop
Wright.
with Blaine. Yeah.
Went to Blaine Wright because we know the Peter Redicott outfit. It's Eddie Truman in Southern Cal. Blaine Wright
for the rest of the West Coast and
in Northern Cal
Phil
and Washington,
Canada,
and Phil up here. But the horse has been working brilliant. Peter always a strong supporter of racing in Hastings, and you know, and he's both races he's brought up horses. He brought up a filly for the Assemble in the fantasy, and he brought up Almeria, you know, which is like thumbs up to Peter for doing this because he can rate. he can race anywhere, and he chooses to race here with a lot of his
I know,
horses.
that's another one I feel bad I left off.
It just looks like a route, it could be a route horse.
Yeah.
I know the forum says, going 6, but we're not going 6 here. We're
Yeah,
going mile
exactly. That was
16.
5, actually, the
And,
horse was running.
yeah,
Now we're going to mile 16.
And this horse could be live. Anyway, and I put the 8-horse I agree, Panhandle live. Should have won the Futurity. Unlucky not to win it. The extra distance will definitely help Panhandle, maybe hurt Wise Market, who did beat him last time. But European I left off. Day Raider slews the boss. But I really think Rogerio. If Almeria isn't a really nice horse, which maybe he is, I'm going to go 5, 7, and 8. I like Rogerio to win on the stretch out to a mile 16. 7th and final, got some 62.50 older horses sprinting 6.5 furlongs. I went to the 7-horse Merlot. Just been money. He's been a cool horse when he gets good pace. He seems to find paces in every race he runs. He's going to get it again. Got Adams River running Silent Eagle. They're just going to go mental again. And they're both 44 and change horses.
Yeah.
And if they do that again, Merlot's super live. And I went Merlot off the grid. Another back runner. I think this horse is pretty nice. He's been actually staying a lot closer to the pace than he has been in the past. And I thought it was a really good run last time. And I put the 6-horse Prince Hotel for Jody Rawson is having a great meet in for third. 7-3-6. I left off both the speed horses and Sedin and my Seeking Asylum. I went 7-3-6.
I went to the 4. I went to Adams River Run. He's made no mistakes this year. He's looked very impressive winning. And I don't think Silent Eagle wants to go that quick with him. I mean, this is a horse that goes in 44 and 4 and then goes in 17 and 4.
No, I just mean the early the early fractions. I don't know if Adams River Run can get the clear.
If he clears, then
that's good. I get the inside, which is good.
So I'm going with Adams River Run. He's he's been impressive so far this year. I'm going to stick with him. I got Adams River Run. Obviously, if he gets if he goes crazy, Merlot's the horse that's going to come and catch him. Merlot looks very tough in here.
Luckiest horse this year, Merlot.
Yeah, and he's won 2 in a row.
He's a nice horse, but he's got a lot of great pace setups.
Won 2 in a row, so I got Merlot in the second spot. And I put Seeking Asylum. Greg McPherson claimed this horse last time. Hasn't run since the 13th of August. The works look good. He's obviously given a little time off. Works look good coming back. Attracts leading rider Richard Hamill. Him and Craig McPherson about a 26% together. I'm going to take a flyer on him. 4, 7, and 1 for me in the nightcap. That'll do it for our analysis of the Sunday card. Up next on screen will be our picks. Mike,
there we go.
always,
Back in race number 1. I went to the 4. Winning Edge over the 5. Valid Val. The 1, Zenita Rose. Race number 2, the 7, Storm Rocket. Going to go 7, 8, and 5. Race number 3, I went to the 3, Laguna Blaze. Going to go 3, 1, and 4. Race number 4, the start of the late pick 4. Going to go to the 1, 7 times 70 for James Reddekopp and Mike Anderson. 1, 6, and 3. Race number 5 went to the speedy number 4, Soul Cat over the 2, Square Dancer and the 5, Shooting Jacket. Race number 6, this is the Ascot Graduation. $100,000 on the line. I went to the 5, Rogerio of the 7, Almeria, and the 8, Panhandle in the finale. Went to the Wind Machine number 7, Merlot. Going to go 7-3-6.
On to my picks. There we go. Back in the first, I agree with Mike. I went to the 4, Winning Edge over the 1 and the 5. The second, the Baby Race. I went to the outside. The 8, Katie's Dancer over the 4 and the 5. In the third, I'm with Mike on number 3, Laguna Blaze over the 1 and the 4. In the fourth, I went to the 6, another Baby Race, Luxor Lady over the 7 and the 1. In the fifth, nice older horse race, I went to the 2, Square Dancer over the 4 and the 5. In the 6th, the Ascot Graduation, I went to the 8, Panhandle over the 5, Rogerio, and the 1, European. And in the nightcap, I went to the 4, Adams River Run, the speedy Adams River Run over the 7 and the 1.
Well, thanks everyone for tuning in to Handicappers Corner, brought to you by the Derby Bar and Grill. Hopefully we've given you a lot of insight into the program. Once again, first race at 150. Keep an eye on the Sea to Sky Pick 6 carryover. Next weekend, we're going Sunday.
That's right.
We're not
Sunday,
racing
Monday.
Saturday. We still have simulcasting. So come out here to the Derby on Saturday, October the 7th. We do have simulcasting from Santa Anita, Belmont. It's lots of stakes action and great action on next weekend, simulcast way. But I mean, on Sunday, our next live card is Sunday and Monday. Sunday will be the ballerina for the fillies and mares. And then on Monday will be the premiers for the boys on October the 9th. So our next live card's Sunday, Monday, a little tweak the schedule next weekend. On behalf of Drew, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next time here at the Derby Bar and Grill on Handicappers Corner.